life sentence for R. Kelly.
This man is a prolific serial who utilized his status as a Grammy Award-winning household name to inflict pain and anguish on so many victims.
R. Kelly is going to be looking for a little more protection while he's in jail in Chicago, because we've heard from officials at the prison he was attacked by another inmate.
Tonight, an inmate claims he snuck into R. Kelly's jail cell to attack the singer. This is Jeremiah Farmer, who claims he was forced to beat the Grammy winner.
R. Kelly is currently serving a 31-year sentence for serious crimes. But before his trial, he had a scary run-in that's likely etched in his memory and will most likely make him extra cautious until the day he's released. While awaiting trial, he was actually attacked in prison. What's wild is, his attacker had links to the Latin Kings, one of the toughest gangs around. Let's dig into what went down. First off, let's talk about the attacker. Jeremiah Farmer, at 39 years old, has a criminal history that's nothing short of chilling. He was convicted not only for but also for the brutal M of two businessmen back in 1999. And that's just scratching the surface of his criminal activities. His involvement in a conspiracy dates back to 1999, as federal prosecutors revealed. This conspiracy wasn't just about making money. It included a series of heinous acts ranging from attempted M to aggravated assaults, STFK, and drug distribution. These weren't your everyday crimes. Farmer's most notorious acts included the brutal M of Marion Lowry and Harvey Seegers, who owned Calumet Auto Rebuilders. These two businessmen met a horrific end at their place of business in Hammond, where they were beaten to death with a hammer. Farmer's actions left a trail of terror, shaking the communities he targeted and leaving devastation in his wake. Paul Keenan, the FBI's special agent in charge, aptly described Farmer's reign of terror, emphasizing that his violent actions deeply affected the community. Locking up Farmer wasn't just about removing a dangerous criminal from the streets. It was about sending a clear message that such behavior would not be tolerated. Fast forward to July 2019, and Farmer faced the consequences of his crimes. Along with 42 other gang members convicted of conspiracy and drug charges, he was sentenced to life in prison. But even behind bars, his story took an unexpected and bizarre twist. In a downtown Chicago jail cell, where R. Kelly was awaiting trial on his own charges of assault, Farmer's fury found a new target. In a handwritten filing to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, Farmer made a startling admission. He attacked R. Kelly while they were both incarcerated. According to Farmer, he felt compelled to carry out this assault as a desperate plea for attention, hoping to shed light on what he claimed was government corruption in his own case. He painted himself as a whistleblower, fighting against injustice and trying to highlight the issues he believed were being overlooked in his prosecution.
Farmer, in jail for conspiracy, lays it all out in this appeal to the 7th Circuit. Farmer writes he was, quote, forced to assault hip-hop and R&B singer R. Kelly.
This shocking revelation thrust Farmer back into the spotlight, raising a slew of questions about the circumstances surrounding the attack on Kelly. Farmer's claims painted a picture of frustration and desperation. He supposedly resorted to violence as a last resort, hoping to draw attention to his own legal plight. Locked down amidst the chaos of the COVID-19 pandemic, denied access to legal resources, and feeling abandoned by his defense team, Farmer saw Kelly as a means to an end, alleging that he had been failed by the very system meant to deliver justice. The details of the attack are chilling. Kelly, asleep in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago, was caught off guard when Farmer launched his assault. According to reports, Farmer punched Kelly repeatedly before being stopped by a prison employee who used pepper spray to intervene. Farmer also allegedly had an ink pen with him that he was going to use to stab Mr. Kelly. The incident left Kelly battered and bruised, while Farmer was swiftly transferred to another prison, his moment in the spotlight dimming as quickly as it had flared. Kelly's legal team tried to get some answers and wanted to question Farmer about the attack, but a federal judge denied their request, saying the assault wasn't enough reason to grant Kelly bail. For Kelly, already drowning in multiple charges of SA and assault, this was just another blow in his long list of legal woes. Kelly's trials, scheduled in different jurisdictions, faced repeated delays due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic at the time. From New York to Chicago and Minnesota, he faced a laundry list of charges ranging from exploitation of minors to and forced labor. Each trial came with its own set of allegations, painting a damning picture of a man who was once celebrated for his musical genius. In Chicago, videotapes allegedly showing Kelly engaging in acts with underage girls formed the basis of federal charges against him. And in Minnesota, accusations of child P added yet another layer to the scandal. As the legal proceedings dragged on, the fates of both Kelly and Farmer were uncertain. Once a superstar in the music world, R. Kelly was now facing a tough battle in court. People all over the world were waiting to see what would happen to him. Would he end up behind bars forever, or would his legal team pull off a miracle? It was like a suspenseful movie, with everyone holding their breath to see how it would end. Kelly, who used to rock the stage, was now at the court's mercy, with little chance to prove his innocence. The stakes were high, and the drama was intense. Folks everywhere were glued to their seats, eagerly waiting for the verdict. Well, we know how that turned out for him eventually. In 2021, he got hit with a 30-year prison sentence in New York for using his fame to exploit and harm women and kids. It was a huge fall from grace for someone who once ruled the music charts.
But we do begin tonight with singer R. Kelly, sentenced to 30 years behind bars after his conviction on charges. Prosecutors accused him of leading a criminal enterprise of managers, bodyguards, and other employees.
Now, let's dive a bit deeper into the gang that Jeremiah Farmer is affiliated with, the Latin Kings. For those unfamiliar, the Latin Kings are a group you definitely don't want to mess with. Back in 1954, in the vibrant streets of Humboldt Park, Chicago, a group called the Imperials emerged. Led by Ramon Santos, they initially fought for the rights of Puerto Ricans in Chicago, aiming to combat the discrimination they faced. However, as often happens, things took a darker turn. Life in the city was tough, with constant violence from other gangs like the Greek and Italian groups. To strengthen their position, the Imperials united with other Puerto Rican and Mexican gangs, eventually forming the Latin Kings. Initially, the Latin Kings acted as a shield, protecting their community from harm and standing up against other groups targeting Puerto Ricans and other Latinos.
They were like basically protecting all down 26th Street, making sure the blacks did not steal because they were stealing all down 26th Street.
Protecting they though. I'm with this.
But over time, their mission shifted. Instead of fighting discrimination, they began to embrace criminal activities, expanding their influence beyond Humboldt Park. Today, the Latin Kings are a formidable presence. With two main factions, King Motherland Chicago and Bloodline, they have spread across the United States, reaching over 158 cities in 31 states. In Chicago alone, their numbers are estimated to range from 20,000 to 35,000 members. They have also expanded globally, establishing chapters in Latin American and European countries. In the realm of Hispanic street gangs, the Latin Kings hold a significant position, rivaled only by groups like the Sureños, Norteños, MS-13, and the 18th Street Gang. They are currently one of the largest and most influential gangs in the United States, with a strong presence in Chicago. However, beneath their numbers and reputation lies a story of squandered potential. The Latin Kings began with admirable goals, fighting for equality and justice. Yet somewhere along the way, they veered off course. Instead of uplifting their community, they contributed to its downfall through violence and crime. If you're curious about spotting a Latin King, it's actually pretty straightforward once you know what to look for. Keep an eye out for their sacred crown, usually shown in either 5 points or 3, proudly displayed as a symbol of honor and loyalty. You might also see markings like LK, ALK, ALKN, or ALKQN around, which represent the gang's unity and pride. And don't miss the majestic lion or the revered king master, often depicted in drawings as symbols of strength and authority. But there's more to the Latin kings than just symbols and colors. They're part of the people-nation alliance, which is a big deal in the gang world, especially when pitted against the rival folk nation gang alliance. Loyalty and alliances matter a lot in their world. In the Latin kings, rules aren't just suggestions, they're strictly enforced. If a member steps out of line, there's a whole process that kicks in. It starts with a procedures for violation form, which details the alleged offense and gathers statements from everyone involved. Then there's the crown hearing, where guilt is decided and consequences are given out. Punishments vary depending on the offense's severity. It could mean probation, fines, or even suspension from wearing the gang's colors. And for the most serious violations, physical punishment isn't off the table. Phrases like beat on sight, 3-minute physical, or 5-minute physical are more than just words. They're punishments administered by other members to reinforce the importance of following the rules. But why such strict discipline? For the Latin kings, it's all about maintaining order and respect within their ranks. They believe in upholding the values of brotherhood and solidarity. In a world where loyalty is everything, rules aren't just rules. They're the foundation of their gang. Additionally, the Latin kings operate based on a strict set of rules and ideals. Imagine a thick book, like a guidebook, dictating how they should live and what they should believe in. This book is their constitution, and it's taken very seriously. They also follow something called the King Manifesto, which is akin to their Bible, guiding them through different life stages. The first stage is the primitive stage, similar to being a reckless teenager, acting on impulses without much thought. It's all about hanging out with friends, getting into fights, and trying to look tough. Then there's the conservative stage, where members start feeling tired of the constant trouble. Some might want to settle down, get married, and leave the gang life behind. However, it's more about conforming to societal expectations than truly growing up. Finally, there's the new king stage, where everything supposedly changes. It's like waking up from a long sleep and realizing that things need to be different. Instead of fighting amongst themselves, it's about fighting for a bigger cause, like freedom and justice. It's about realizing that everyone is in this together, regardless of race or background. So, even though R. Kelly might be safe for the time being, there's always a lingering threat hanging over him, because the Latin kings don't easily forget their enemies.